Picture this. You're standing in your kitchen at 7 a.m., coffee in hand, and you think, today's the day I finally start that morning walk. But by 7:05, you're already scrolling through your phone. And by 7:15, you're back in your old routine. Sound familiar? You're not broken. You're not lacking willpower. You're just fighting against something psychologists call activation energy, the mental force needed to start any new habit. And today, we're going to hack it with something so simple, you'll wonder why nobody told you this sooner. I'm going to show you the 5-minute rule, a scientifically backed system that turns I should into I'm already doing it. And the best part? It works especially well for us in our golden years because our brains are wired for wisdom, not willpower. Here's what you need to know. Procrastination isn't laziness. It's your brain's ancient survival system mistaking that morning walk for a saber-toothed tiger. When we perceive a task as threatening, whether it's exercise, learning something new, or organizing that closet, our fight or flight response kicks in. Your brain literally thinks, run away, this is dangerous. But here's the fascinating part. Research from MIT shows that our brains also have something called the Zeigarnik Effect. Once we start something, anything, our minds become almost obsessed with finishing it. It's like psychological momentum. Start reading one page, and suddenly you're 3 chapters in. Write one sentence, and before you know it, you've filled half a page. The problem isn't that you can't do it. The problem is that starting feels like climbing Mount Everest when really you just need to take the first step. Now, let me tell you about dopamine, your brain's reward system. Every time you complete a small task, your brain releases this feel-good chemical. It's the same system that kept our ancestors motivated to hunt and gather. But here's the magic. Your brain doesn't care if the task is big or small. 5 minutes of action triggers the same reward response as 5 hours. Think about it. Remember the last time you finally organized that junk drawer? How good did it feel? That's dopamine working. And once it starts flowing, it creates what researchers call psychological momentum. Your brain thinks, hey, this feels good. Let's keep going. For those of us over 60, this is particularly powerful because our brains have decades of experience pattern matching. We know what completion feels like, and we crave it. So here's your step-by-step system. First, choose one task you've been avoiding. Maybe it's that 15-minute walk your doctor recommended. Maybe it's calling an old friend. Maybe it's learning to use that tablet your grandchildren gave you. Second, set a timer for exactly 5 minutes. Not 4, not 6, 5. There's psychology behind this number. It's short enough that your brain doesn't perceive it as a threat, but long enough to create momentum. Third, eliminate distractions. Put your phone in another room. Close unnecessary browser tabs. If you're starting an exercise routine, lay out your walking shoes the night before. Make it easier to start than to avoid. Fourth, begin imperfectly. Don't aim for perfection. If you're writing, write badly. If you're walking, walk slowly. If you're learning something new, be a beginner. The goal isn't excellence, it's activation. Here's what happens in those 5 minutes. Your brain stops seeing the task as a threat and starts seeing it as normal. The anxiety that was holding you back begins to fade. Your focus naturally improves. And most importantly, you prove to yourself that you can do it. Now, when that timer goes off, you have a choice. You can stop, and that's perfectly fine. You've already succeeded. Or you can keep going. 9 times out of 10, you'll find yourself saying, you know what? I'm actually enjoying this. This isn't about pushing through. It's about psychological momentum. Once you start, your brain's natural completion instinct takes over. That's the Zeigarnik Effect in action. Let me share what one viewer, Margaret, told me. I used the 5-minute rule to start decluttering my bedroom. I set the timer, thinking I'd just sort through one drawer. 3 hours later, I had reorganized my entire closet. I felt like myself again. The beauty of this system is that it grows with you. Week 1, maybe you walk for 5 minutes. Week 2, you're walking for 10. By month 3, that morning walk has become as natural as brushing your teeth.
But what about distractions? Here's what the research shows. When a distraction pops up during your 5 minutes, don't fight it. Instead, write it down on a piece of paper and tell yourself, I'll handle this after my 5 minutes. This technique, called cognitive offloading, frees your mind to focus on the task at hand. For my fellow over 60 friends, our brains are actually better at this than younger brains. We have what psychologists call crystallized intelligence, the ability to use accumulated knowledge and experience. We're not learning to focus for the first time, we're remembering how to focus. Here's the truth that nobody talks about. Motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. Think about the last time you felt truly energized and productive. I bet it wasn't when you were thinking about what you needed to do. It was when you were actually doing it. The 5-minute rule isn't just about beating procrastination. It's about reclaiming your sense of agency. Every time you honor that 5-minute commitment, you're proving to yourself that you're still the person who gets things done. You're still growing. You're still becoming. So right now, before you close this video, I want you to choose one thing. One small thing you've been putting off.
Set a timer for 5 minutes and start now. Not tomorrow, not after you finish watching, now. Here's what I know about you. You have decades of wisdom, experience, and strength. You've overcome challenges that would stop most people. You don't need another motivational speech. You need a system that works with your brain, not against it. The 5-minute rule isn't magic. It's psychology. It's neuroscience. It's the gap between where you are and where you want to be, made small enough to step across. What's one thing you'll apply the 5-minute rule to today? Share it in the comments below. And if you try it, come back and tell us how it went. We're all learning together. Remember, you're not too old to change. You're not set in your ways. You're not stuck. You're 5 minutes away from proving it to yourself. For more science-backed strategies to build lasting habits and overcome procrastination, check out the resources in the description below. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Your golden years aren't about slowing down. They're about choosing what deserves your energy, and finally having the tools to direct it where it matters most.